And you're listening to The Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Yes. Punchline.
Do Punchline. So we good fight this past weekend.
Big rumor on a big fight card coming up.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And of course we got y'all and y'all questions.
Yes, we do, and that's what we're gonna be a lot of today because there wasn't a lot of fights this week, was there?
Oh, Bobby Sanchez right up on it.
Bobby's already on here?
Yep.
What the fuck, man? Hey, Brian's here. It's not a show without Brian Wan, is it?
Yep.
No, hell no, it's not, man. Man, you look like you put more mass on, Kelly, on your arms, bro. Every time I come to the fucking show, arms are getting bigger and bigger. Pretty soon, you're just gonna be a set of arms and no body anymore.
I'm already losing my neck.
I don't think so. I don't know, man.
I haven't even been able to do shoulders.
I did them today, but
I'm injured, guys.
yes, Jeff, Mikey and Spence is on for February. I believe it's been signed already. So Miguel says he fucking loves you. It says Miguel Salazar, he fucking loves you.
Where's he at? I don't even
Right
know.
here up top, I see Miguel Salazar. I know he does.
Oh, Miguel.
Me and Miguel has a love for. We both have a love for cats. So I'm happy with that.
Sure you do.
We like cats.
You really like cats?
I do like cats.
Fuck, does anybody like a cat?
What? I like cats and dogs. I like them.
I understand like a foot, but I mean it's cats to me. I don't know.
Miguel says, Kelly, you're so hot.
Thanks, Miguel. You're hot too. I wish you grow your hair back real long again so I could pull it.
Sniff it. Sniff the hair. Yes, kitty cat, Sergio. Here comes Sergio going into full sex offender mode again.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, it's funny. Sergio is a great guy, but if you put anything remotely sexual on Facebook, he goes on and on and on the whole time. Like me and Damon said, he goes into full sex offender mode and loses his fucking mind, man.
What's going on, Sergio?
So, I mean, what's going on?
I said hi to you, bro. I told you I wish you grow your hair.
What's up, Sergio? Yeah, what's up, Miguel? Yeah,
my homie Adam Carano's listening. What's going on, Adam?
I don't know Adam. He's probably a pretty good dude.
My brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah, okay. I know Adam now.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I met him. Yes, I remember now. Adam's a good dude.
Yes.
I like him.
I went to the Jacobs fight this weekend. Very good fight. Do you think he performed well? Well, Darren, that's what we're gonna get into.
We're gonna get into that, and
right. I like to hop. You want to hop into it?
You hop. Yeah, let's hop right into it.
All right. I am disappointed in Danny Jacobs. I went back. I watched the fight twice.
You did watch it again?
Yeah, I did. I watched it the very next morning before I went to my lift.
Okay.
And I had it. It could have been a draw. I could see if Danny Jacobs won, but believe it or not, guys, I know I'm going to be one of the few to say this, but I actually had
Derevchenko.
Derevchenko. I had him by one round. Now some of them rounds were really close, but I just thought the aggression by Chenko was what won the fight. Listen, I mean, he threw punches when I was fighting. And I'm gonna use me because it's the only one I could use. Like I got hit with punches, and even when I was blocking them, I got hit. But I fired back a lot of punches and threw more punches. What I'm saying with that is, Jacobs didn't really do that. But where I'm going with this, why I said I'm mad at Jacobs, because I'm a huge fan of Danny Jacobs. I truly am, and I still think that he could be the best fighter in the middleweight division. But as we said over and over and over, he has those like laws and lapse and you know he takes the round off and he does things and he gives the round. He literally like hands the round away. But when he fights, when Danny Jacobs fights and he fires those quick combos and punches, he's dangerous and he's fast and he's every bit as good as anybody in the middleweight division. But in that fight, I mean, he literally made that fight so close. And when he could have made that a very easy fight, the skill difference in that fight was really noticeable when he let his hands go and he threw his punches and he put power behind them. The skill level was very noticeable. But unfortunately, as like we said over and over, he does do that. He almost gives rounds away, like quits in the middle of the fight. So that's the way I had it.
Yeah. What's up, Damon? On me, I had Danny Jacobs up by one round. I had him 114-30. Some of those swing rounds I gave to Danny Jacobs. But saying that, Derevchenko, if he got the decision by one round, I wouldn't have argued. I wouldn't have argued. He outworked Jacobs, and you got to go on that. But I think the cleaner punches was by Jacobs, and so some of those rounds, like, and I think Jacobs was hurt about 5 times in that fight. A couple of those times, I don't think the average fan would have seen it. You know what I mean?
He got hurt.
He got hurt, but I don't think the average fan would have seen it. I think you have to be an educated fan to see where he was hurt. He got hurt on a body shot. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. He brought his leg up actually when he went back to the body.
And I knew you would see it, and I knew a lot of the people listening would see that.
He brought that leg up. On the flip side of that, he hurt Derevchenko a lot too. Yes. And
that uppercut hurt him.
Yep, and he let him go. He buckled him a couple times in that fight. Conditioning, I think, was another issue. I mean, Danny was pretty much fatigued. And don't get me wrong, Derevchenko, he can make you tired with that style, the way he was fighting. But again, I still just overall, I think that Jacobs could have made that a lot easier fight.
Yeah,
I truly do.
I just thought that Jacobs was the cleaner puncher and landed the most effective things. So I kind of I think it was that 7th or 8th round is where I kind of gave Jacobs that round where it could have went either way. And I thought, well, but like I said, a draw is kind of what I expected at the end. But either way, as long as it wasn't 118, 109 or something crazy, I was good with whoever won that fight.
Yep. I I agree with you.
And me and you after every fight, I think we talk after every fight, don't we? We
do.
We call every night and we talk every fight.
Yeah, we still. I mean, we disagreed, but it wasn't I don't consider it disagreement because I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I saw
if you gave Jacobs.
No, I saw where you were coming from, but it's not like one of us said, "Hey, you're fucking crazy."
Yeah, yes, not at all. Damon says Chenko really pushed that fight, keeping Jacobs on spaghetti legs, but Jacobs' form was flawless.
And that's the same thing too. That's what. And you know what? To me, Kelly, it comes down to how you score a fight. Everybody scores a fight different.
Yeah, it's what you like or what you prefer.
Yes. But I really. But has Jacobs dropped his value or anything? No, I don't think so. I think Jacobs is still a great fighter, but like you said, Jacobs has lapses in concentration during the fight. He gets mentally lazy, Jacobs does, and he fights to the level of his opposition.
He does.
Jacobs could have made that fight a lot easier.
And even in this fight, though, he was fighting, but for some reason he just gave up midway through the round for some reason.
Yes, I would love to sit and talk with Chris Algieri, one of his trainers, wouldn't you, and ask him about that? Maybe we will. I mean, he's fighting November 30th in Long Island,
I kind of feel worried sometimes to do that, though. I don't want to piss him off.
No, but if we talk to him in person, you know what I mean, and ask him and not be like, hey, you're a fighter, but what's going on and why he fights to the level of, I don't know. I just think that Jacobs was the better fighter and could have made that an easier night.
Yeah. I agree.
Charlo versus Jacobs. Vinny, I'm going to take Jacobs still against Charlo. Charlo is still untested. I like him, and he's still. Charlo's a good fighter, and I'm not saying anything negative about Jamal or Jamel. I'm just saying it's hard to bet the farm on a guy that I haven't seen fight anybody.
What fight was that?
Charlo versus Jacobs.
I got to go with Jacobs too.
Experience means a lot.
It does. And that might be a certain fight where I think Jacobs gets up for too, and fights every round.
Esteban says Derevchenko was headhunting too much. Should have went to the body more. Well, Esteban, let me tell you, in my humble opinion about that, the reason people don't go the body because that means he has to get inside and take those shots that Jacobs were landing. He landed bombs when he tried to get inside. Derevchenko tried multiple times to get on side. And what was it? Didn't Roy Jones say that he was going to take those bombs coming in?
Yeah.
So that will...
And he did land some good body shots.
He did.
The middle-ish rounds. Yeah, I understand that too. And also it could be another thing that he didn't want to wait. He felt like if he goes, which is inexperience too on his part.
He's only has 12 pro fights.
12 pro fights. Some people feel as if they go to the body that they're going to waste energy. He's never been really past 9 rounds.
Yes.
And he was probably making every punch. He was trying to make it count.
Yes.
Which, in all reality, if he would have invested in the body, then early on, then it's that's an investment.
Let me ask you this, Kelly. You're a middleweight. Obviously, you were a middleweight champion. How would you fight Jacobs? Because to me, he reminds me a lot of Jermaine Taylor.
I agree.
Do you think he does?
Absolutely.
He's the same height, the same weight, the same kind of jab, and the way he moves. Really.
My thing would have been it would have been using a jab, the same way I fought Taylor, doubling the jab up, everything else,
yes.
Going to the body, working at. And again, I don't think Danny Jacobs would have been able to handle that. He got tired at the end of the fight, and I threw more punches than Lomachenko did, actually.
Brian McIntyre, Bomax says, what do you think about Crawford? Personally, I think Crawford's the best fighter in the world. I have him number 1 pound for pound. Kelly, you have him 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, respectively.
Between him and Lomachenko, right?
Yes.
I have Crawford a solid number 1 right now. I think he's
actually, I still got to take that. I'm sorry, I got to take that back. I have him a very close 2. I got about a 3.
Okay.
No, closer to 2 though now than before.
Yeah.
I have Spence 2.
I have Crawford a solid number 1. I just think the way he dispatches people is so clean, and the way he controls the ring, I love it. So I got him solid 1.
And I gotta admit, man, like I'm really swinging like his way.
Yeah.
Compared to like how I felt before between him and Spence.
Let me tell you this:
they fight.
I think Crawford's more of a danger to Mikey than Errol Spence is.
Oh, absolutely.
I do. I think so. I think Crawford's way more dangerous when it comes to Mikey than Errol Spence. I think Mikey sees something in Errol Spence that he doesn't see, because you don't see Mikey saying, "Hey, I want Crawford." You're not hearing that shit, right? But you are hearing, "Let's fight Errol Spence," because he sees something in him that he don't see in Errol Spence.
Yeah. Well, never 6'2" but wore his pants. If he was 7 foot, that's a little world shit. Oh, he's talking about today at the calling out.
Yeah, yeah. You were in your pants high.
No, they were coming all the way down. I got dirt all over them. They were going under my dress shoes.
Oh shit! You know, wait a minute. You know what? It just clicked with me who Bomac is. You know who that is? That's Crawford's trainer. I didn't even realize that. Just wait a minute. That's Crawford's trainer, man.
Oh shit.
Yes, Sergio Mikey's fighting Errol Spence in February.
That's pretty cool. Spence hasn't had a real fight in 2 years.
Sir, I don't know about that. Bomac said, "How are you, Kelly? Going to have Loma Spence ahead of Crawford?"
Well, I got to go off with Spence with the size, and that was before Crawford moved up to welterweight. But Spence just got it right now. He's got the power. He's big, and it's tough. It is. Lomachenko, I got to, because the reason with Lomachenko, and I had this argument with people, what he's done in his second pro fight. He lost to Salido. But Salido was a world champion, a former world champion. And then in his third pro fight, he fought for a world title. So, I mean, how many other fighters out there really have done what Lomachenko has done? So that's the reason why. I mean, it goes to show.
You know, with me, though, with Crawford, if you look at his last 12 fights, it's a who's who of the 140 and it's the 140 division. It's the who's who of the lightweight and the 140 division. I have to go with that. He's beating guys like Beltran and Postal, and he's just, you know, and I mean, he's dispatching guys easily. So I'm going to go with him. For me, with Errol Spence, and this is where we disagree, Kelly. When you do the pound for pound list, you do it based on what they're doing. I don't go based on future performances. I go on the past and I go on the present. I don't care about their future because it hasn't happened yet. So I take the pound for pound list from the past and present. I think Crawford has a solid lead over Lomachenko right now. And I think it could change. I mean, Lomachenko and Pedraza is not going to do nothing to fix Lomachenko's standing.
No, it's not at this point. And again, that's why the fight with Mikey was needed for Lomachenko. He's running out of people to fight.
Yeah. And Sergio's saying this, Kelly. I hope Mikey shocks the world. If Mikey wins, it's not a shock to the world. It's absolutely not. This is not Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. Me and Kelly have went through this multiple times. The fight is closer than a lot of people think. Mikey's not 135. Mikey is a 185-pound man moving up to 147. I mean, he walks around 80, 85, maybe 70 if he didn't eat Spam or anything that week, right?
Yeah.
And but he fought a fight at 40, so he's moving up one weight class.
Yeah.
So
I understand that. But again, I'm still I'm sticking to my guns. I don't care, Loma. I just think what he's done in that early on, that's tough without.
Bomac said, has any one of them did what Bud done in their careers, Kelly?
Not yet. I mean, now,
Brian,
I'm just going off my personal opinion from seeing what it is. I understand you train Crawford, and I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. Said that over and over. And I have him
in the top 3. Right?
Yeah, I'm not calling James crazy for saying that, that he has them number 1. It could easily go that way. I'm going off just what I've seen and how I feel. I have them top 3, and those top 3 could go in any order. If you switch them around, that is not an argument. I just think, again, as me being a pro fighter, going 12 rounds and then winning a world title, being able to go 12 rounds, and the guys that Lomachenko has beat, he's beat 7 world champions. He's won in 3 different weight class, or three different divisions. He's won a world title, and that's pretty impressive at that stage. And again, with Spence, that is a very good argument right there, though. Like, what has Spence done more to Crawford that you'd have him over Crawford? I just right now that's where I would have that going. And if you put Crawford over Spence, there's nothing wrong with that, because Crawford is what he's done is one of the only undisputed champions out there right now. The only one.
He's the only undisputed champion.
Only undisputed champion. Yes, he deserves to be 1 or 2 or 3. So that's where I'm at on it. I mean, it's nothing against anybody. It's just how I feel.
Everybody has their own pound for pound list.
Yeah,
you know
mine with Lomachenko, again, breaking it down. Like, if he loses, now, don't get me wrong, he's going to have to step up here soon, though. He's going to have to take a chance with a big fight.
A Mikey or somebody.
Somebody like that.
Somebody else in there. But Julian says, Mikey was 175 and said on Ekbite. Yes, he was. But before he fought Robert Easter, he was in Hawaii. He came back home at 186. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were talking
and
about
we got that from Robert personally. Robert said Mikey was 186. He was big as fuck. But
he is going in his fight as a smaller man.
He is a smaller man. Absolutely. Errol Spence is a bigger man. But Julian also says that Inoue could be the best at one time. Yeah, but Inoue needs to prove it. He's showing all the great skills and he's doing all these things, but he's in a weight class where he can't really prove himself now.
And I said that too. It's not his fault.
No,
it's just a tough weight class to do that.
I just think that maybe after he fights Dogbo, he'll move up a little bit. Maybe moves up to 122.
That's gonna be a good fight there.
Oh, he'll beat Dogbo's ass. I just think Inoue is special. I think he's special.
Again, I told you with that. I think
he's gotten better too. He's growing on you, right?
He is, but again, it's not his fault either. So I can't get mad. But at that weight, there's lack of talent at that weight. Not his fault. And if he moves up and goes and wins it, then you got to start giving him his credit.
Why do analyze so many potential fights when they should be making these fights? Do you think this is why boxing has lost so many fans? Yeah, I think so. Rugged Bob. I think that's a big thing. Is boxing's always been known for more talk than action. But this is what gets people excited, is these potential fights. And right now, boxing has gotten so much better over the past few years of making great fights. Back in the mid-2000s, you had to kill somebody to make a good fight. You know what I mean?
And that's been, though. I mean, it's been happening in boxing, too, though. And again, I think boxing, the last 2 years, has been doing a better job of making the fights. But you're going to have those talking about these big fights. But, again, money talks and bullshit walks.
Right? It says Mikey wins and he retired. Absolutely not, Esteban. Mikey had said that he had about 3 fights left to him. Correct? He wants to be done by 32. He's 30 years old. He's trying to trying to cash out. I mean, he's looking at Errol Spence, and I know he's looking at Lomachenko, and I can't speak on the third fight. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
but
that fight might happen.
YouTube comment, Kelly. Protect the King boxing. Loma lost to Salido, but almost knocked him out. But Mikey took the easy way out just as Salido started to smoke. Well, let's be honest here. Mikey dropped that kid 5 times. And Mikey dropped him 5 times in what, 3 rounds? 4 rounds? And they stopped the fight. I mean, the fight got stopped. He took the easy way out, but I don't know. But either way, the fight was going to end. He was trying to say that. I guess he's trying to say Mikey bitched out in that fight against Salido after he dropped him 5 times. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Sergio, that's what makes me talk funnier on here is the dipping.
Yes. I'm back to where I had to switch my screen over a little bit. I think so, and I think MMA's kind of lost the edge a little bit. At one time, it was all about MMA and kind of boxing was going away, and now I think it's just transitioning. I think it's going to flip back and forth until MMA gets some big stars. Because all their big stars have basically been beaten.
Again, as I always say with that is, MMA will be big, and they were doing a great job getting the inside stations, the smaller stations. But boxing will have his down. It'll take his bumps and bruises. But boxing's always going to be boxing. It's been around for how many years, and it's not going nowhere. And you see the last 2 years, 2017, 2018, how it's done.
Well, they said, did you catch the Pro Grace fight? I did catch the Pro Grace fight, and I'll tell you, I'm very high on Pro Grace. I like him a lot. I think he made easy work that night, you know? He made it easy. And so, yeah, I think Pro Grace is somebody to watch at 140. I think he's a small welterweight when he does move up, if he does. But right now, I think that's something Mikey needs to look at is maybe Pro Grace. Maybe that would be a fight for him. You know what I mean? A big fight. Because Pro Grace is good enough to beat anybody.
Right now, Mikey's got to concentrate on what he's got in front of him.
Oh, my God. Right?
Sergio says, I vape. It reminds me of the...
Yeah, he vapes cock.
That reminds me of the Family Guy episode. Get called douchebags.
I don't think
Sergio, dude, you set me up for that.
Yeah, Greg said, I don't think Mikey bitched out. He totally don't. He did. I mean, what else? What more are you going to do, man? You knocked the guy down 5 times and outboxed the shit out of him. Mikey gets a broken nose, and then the referee says, do you want to continue? Like, fuck, why should I? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not bitching out. You beat the fuck out of this dude. I don't know, man. I don't know, but for anybody that thinks good, somebody else could think he sucks or he's a bitch. That's the one thing.
That's the way it always is.
But this is the difference between fighters and fans. Fans can sit back and call fighters bitches, but you know they wouldn't say it to their face.
They wouldn't.
I bet he wouldn't call Mikey a bitch to his face, or he wouldn't call Errol Spence or Crawford or Lomachenko bitches.
I was a former fighter, and I don't ever call any of these guys a bum,
a bitch,
put
a letter grade on them. I hate when motherfuckers put a letter grade on somebody.
Yeah, or a sissy or anything.
Or when they say, "Oh, he's a C-level fighter," motherfucker, you're not even an F-level fighter.
All right. YouTube comment from Brian Wan.
Okay, Brian.
Until MMA gets that UK market, they will be number 2. And I don't see those UK fans flipping. I don't think so.
I agree with Brian.
I don't think if they didn't flip enough over Connor.
No. And Julian says, Kelly said, Usyk going to do fair at heavyweight? I think he's going to do better than fair at heavyweight, don't you?
I think so.
I think
if Evander Holyfield was able to come up and Chris Bird.
But we know how big Usyk is.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Well, how big was he when we saw him in New York?
Damn, man, he was a good 2 inches taller than me.
Yeah, but how big do you think he was?
I would say
240.
I would say 245.
He was 240. He was huge, wasn't he?
Closer to 250 than anything.
He looked like Frankenstein, didn't he? He had this big giant ass head. We met him in New York, and
I was like 235 at the time.
Yeah, and he was bigger than you.
So yeah, that just goes to show you.
What are you now? 225?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I just had my power meet at 242.
Really?
Yeah. And I was mad that I had to lose 2 pounds, which I ended up losing 4 pounds. Got down to 240.
Protect the King says, I understand that, but Salido is known for getting knocked down multiple times, still come up strong and late, possibly knock the opponent out. Yeah, I agree. Salido has been known for that, but do you honestly think that was the way the fight was going to go? Because he was just taking punishment after punishment in that fight. And I don't know. You know what I mean? I would hate to... I would hate to even see how that, what was going to happen in there. But the thing is this. Salido was also known for that, but when he fought Lomachenko had Salido out on his feet in that 12th round, didn't he? Yeah. He still lost the decision, but he still had... Mikey hits harder than Lomachenko.
Yeah, he does.
So, I don't think the results would have changed at all in that fight.
Again, and I'm going back on that. That was the guys. People, unless you fight, that's why they bring you up and you start off 4, 6, 8, 10.
And then one day, if you're lucky, 12.
Yeah, if you get lucky enough to get to a 12-round fight, then, God bless. That's the difference in that fight when you keep bringing it up with him and Lomachenko.
Man, we get some stars in here. Look, John Shepard watching and Virgil Ortiz watching. Man, Shepard is a big-time amateur fighter. I liked him. I remember him in the amateur. I remember seeing his name on the sheet and saying, well, okay, I'm not fighting that motherfucker. I'm not fighting him or his brother. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I always follow LaChance.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, those Marquette boys were bad.
Yep.
I said, when I was on the Army team, we didn't worry about nobody, but we worried about Marquette.
Now, did LaChance fight around the same time as Jason Inglewanson?
Yeah.
I wonder if he may have fought Mike, because I talked to Jason Inglewanson. He knows. He goes, when I brought up James McClendon from Youngstown.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man. He's like, Duke can fight. He's like, I beat him twice. I was like, yeah, I know you did. But I wonder if LaChance ever fought him.
Yeah, I don't know. He'll probably tell you he did. He'll if he did, he'll probably say something. Julian Sosolido said he was almost knocked out in Spanish. Yep, and he did. He put a thumbs up. Yeah, but yeah, those Marquette guys. That was about the only team that the Army was really we were worried about. We weren't worried about no other team, but we were worried about those Marquette dudes.
I always want to be on that Marquette team.
You could have got on there.
I wasn't around long enough to.
Yeah, but you could have. They would have invited you on.
Yeah.
You'd have got your degree from Northern Michigan University.
What would I have majored in?
What?
What the fuck would I have majored in?
Banging snatch.
Yeah, right.
Man, yeah, I don't know, man.
I was supposed to say that, but
I don't know. Like, hey, I'm also. You want to go into the rumor mill? I don't know. We don't do rumors, but I have heard from a good source, guys. I've heard from a good source that they're talking Jermell Charlo and Hurd. That may be happening soon. I'm hearing that. Usually when we get these stories, these rumor things, we're about 90% on, correct? Usually within the next month or 3 weeks, a month, you'll hear that it's happening. So we're hearing Charlo and Hurd right now. So hey,
that's going to be
huge.
That's big for Showtime.
Yes, it is. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say Hurd. Hurd's fucking big, man. I didn't know how big he was until I saw a picture with him again and you. I was like, Jesus, he's
going to be hard to beat him, especially his conditioning at that weight too, though, with that size.
What's up, Tony? Chicago checking in. Yes.
Tion said I fought Ingle Watson in the Ali Cup. Yeah, I figured.
Yep.
Yeah, you and your brother, man, you guys were. That's who. I remember I told you, like, when I used to sit in the study hall.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little younger than Tion,
Sean
Shepard, and I get the USA Book magazine.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah, and I just read. I go through the rankings, and I always like, I want to get in this. I want to get in the rankings.
You were in there.
Yeah, like a little over a year later, I was
in there too one time. Yeah. 6.
I got up to 4.
Ah, shit. Yeah. Do you remember? Hey, those were the best books, though, weren't they?
They were, dude.
It was a who's who of who's gonna beat your ass.
I think they quit milling them out once I got in it too.
You had to pay. You had to have your pass book. Remember when you got your pass book? You were signed up for those USA boxing subscriptions. How did you get them? They came in the mail, right?
I think Jack sent something in.
Yeah, when you get your pass book, you got a membership into USA Boxing. You know your membership, and then you get them. Because I used to get mine they make them like quarterly, right? Every 3 months you'd get one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or every 4 months. I think every 4 months.
Yes, we're here. Yes, Darren. I think he is, but I think they're trying to make that fight for later. They're trying to make Hurd and Charlotte already talking about it. So we'll see, man. I mean, but we're hearing it, and usually we brought up Mikey and Charlo about 6 months ago, and it's here. So
absolutely,
that's what we do.
Kenny Roberts, Indiana here. What's up, Kenny?
Kenny has a question, Kelly. He says, "Who are you picking, Wilder or Fury?" I got Wilder.
I got Wilder. It's hard, after seeing that last fight, it's hard going against Wilder. I think he proved to me, as I said before, he proved to me more in that Ortiz fight.
Yes. By
having a close fight and getting beat up for all them rounds. He showed me. But I tell you what, I think this fight's going to be a lot closer, and it's going to be awkward for him at the beginning, fighting a guy that much taller than him, and not being used to fighting somebody who's actually 3 inches taller than him.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a little tough at first, but I think down the stretch now, I really thought about it. I think Wilder will probably end up knocking him out.
I think Wilder's power is the great equalizer in this,
Yeah,
I think so. And you know the thing about Wilder? I've never been a fan of Wilder. And especially him knocking out the burrito was really offensive. No, but...
what you still got to do, Brian Wan, you got to dress up as that.
The burrito, man, and a catcher's mask. But look, the thing is this. He's gotten better. His technique's getting better and better all the time. I think they're doing a great job with him. I really do.
I think in that
I think Mark Breland's doing a great job with him.
I think going that long, taking those shots from Ortiz, who's a legitimate heavyweight that could hit, taking them punches and then being able to stop him in what was it, the 7th or 8th?
Yes.
8th round. That showed me more right there.
Well, they're saying don't sleep on Fury. No one's sleeping on Fury. I mean, just because we picked him don't mean we're discounting Fury.
Kenny, I just said it's going to be a very tough fight for a while, I think, for Wilder.
He's a great boxer.
He's 6'9". Wilder is not used to fighting somebody his height, let alone 3 inches taller than him, and he's awkward. That's going to be tough.
Sean Shepard says Hurd or Charlo. I'm going to take Hurd.
No, I'm
going to take Hurd with it. If it was Jamal, I would probably go with Jamal, but it's Jermell. I don't think Jermell's as good as Jamal.
There's 2 things with this fight that could happen, though. One, Hurd could end up eventually having a hard time because he's such a big junior middleweight. having a hard time making weight, where that could affect him if he's killing himself in camp to make weight, because eventually that's going to be an issue. It is.
He's big.
He's very big for junior middle.
How big was he when you saw him?
He was huge. He had to be 200 pounds,
wasn't he?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So eventually, I mean, he's big for a middleweight. He's a really big middleweight.
6'1"?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that could be one bad issue. Okay, I'll get to that right after. Yeah. But at the same time, what could be the thing is if he don't kill himself to make weight and he goes in there, he's going to be that much bigger. First of all, that takes a lot out of the opponent when you're that much bigger. Second of all, not only is he bigger, but he throws a lot of punches and he gets stronger as the fight goes.
Yes.
So being that big and being in that good a shape is what I think is going to help him win that fight. I don't see anything that Charlo has to really hurt him.
Julian said Hurd looked bigger than Kelly in the picture.
He did.
He looked big as fuck, man. I was shocked. I didn't think Hurd was that big. I thought maybe Hurd was 5'11", 5'10". You know, I thought, but when I saw that picture, I was like,
no, dude, when I seen him, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Brian Wong goes, okay. And yes, the old school catcher's mask, skull cap and mask, and 3 industrial rolls of bubble wrap.
Yes, but you are going to be a burrito.
Well, that's just still going to hurt.
Sir,
I got to watch out for I'll wear a glove.
Sergio Mesa says, being a champ is a full-time job, not going on binges. Tyson was at the bar, Wilder was in the gym getting better. And he has a proof. He has a point. I can't deny that. It's what you do outside of the ring that's just as important what you do inside the ring, you know? And the thing is this. Here's the great equalizer. Fury's been hurt and dropped by a cruiserweight before. Nothing on Cunningham, because Cunningham can punch his ass off. But Cunningham did hurt Fury twice and dropped him. If Cunningham's doing it, what do you think Wilder will do if he catches you solid? And I know you're going to say it's not how that works. I understand that. But what I'm saying is he was caught. He was caught because he's not in shape. Fury doesn't get in shape.
But Fury also got to where he's at doing what he did. So, you know what I mean? I don't think it's a great idea for him to do what he does, but he also got that far as a heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Can he do better?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And would he be better if he didn't do it? Probably.
Yes.
So I don't know, how much that's going to play a role, though, unless he's really picking it up.
Kenny said, do you think Canelo versus Jacobs will be made? I think eventually it will be.
I think so.
I think so. But I still think Jacobs may be the best fighter in the world. But if he fights like he did in that fight against Canelo, it's gonna be Quayton's.
Yeah. I think if Canelo stays at middleweight, that's going to be a fight that he has to take.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a fight that the fans want to see with him if he stays at middleweight.
Julian, you're right. Cunningham is lighter and fast, but he doesn't carry the same kind of power as Wilder. And I don't think Cunningham's that much bigger than Wilder, because Wilder fought at 214. He's not.
No,
Cunningham is not much bigger than Wilder. Like I said, Wilder's 214 pounds last
Wilder's
fight.
definitely taller. Cunningham's like my height.
No, I know, but he's saying that. Yeah, he's saying that he was lighter and fast. I think Wilder wasn't much bigger though. He's not. He's a fast guy.
He's probably skinnier overall.
He hits harder. He hits harder. Yeah. I mean.
Now again on that, the leverage when he hits people being 6'6" and fighting guys shorter than him, that does have a lot to.
It does.
That helps.
It does. It's like that tall.
Exactly.
Twitch
the
muscle fibers.
Now is he generating enough torque with a 6'9" guy to?
Look at the guys like Hearns and Mark Breland and some of those fighters. Diego Corrales, all that torque they had when they punched. Kelly, there's a question maybe you can answer. I can't answer this. It says, from Ramita Alma Fieta Thomas, have you ever seen fighters that were higher in weight that look smaller than a taller fighter? That were higher in weight that look smaller than a taller fighter. Chavez did that.
We're higher in weight that look smaller. Yes.
Yeah, Chavez always seemed smaller than most of the opponents he fought, but he would,
Depends on the build. The build of a person really makes a difference in that too.
Yeah, it does, and it's how But back to what we were saying. Hey, what's up, Scott? How are you doing? No, but what we're saying though, what I was saying was, if Jacobs fights to the level of his competition like he does, I think Canelo will beat his ass. I like Jacobs. I think Jacobs could be the best.
I know, I agree.
But if he doesn't pick up the pace,
if he fights like he did the other night, it's over.
Canelo will eat your ass up.
Eat him up. If Jacobs fights like he did the second half of the Triple G fight,
oh yeah,
nobody beats Jacobs.
Yes.
Nobody in that weight class beats him. Plain and simple. Antonio says Canelo versus Charlo, Jacobs versus Triple G. Winners fight each other. I'd like to see that flip-flopped. I would like to see Canelo versus Jacobs and Charlo versus Triple G.
Yes.
And the winner, because Canelo and Triple G already fought twice. So,
Sal, what's up with Victor Conte saying he don't make fighters do road work? He said they don't need it. Victor Conte's an idiot, Sal. We both know that. Victor Conte, I don't take anything he says. That's like he's a snitch. I mean, he snitched. He got all these athletes hooked up on steroids, and then when they put him on trial, he snitched all of them out. He opened up his books. The dude's a snitch. He's a known liar, and now he comes back and says he don't make his fighters do road work. But saying that, Sal, there are fighters that don't do road work. You know as well as I do, and that's rare. But Leo Santa Cruz doesn't like to run. You know, he doesn't do road work. He does elliptical and bikes and
he's in shape.
And swims. He doesn't like to run. And a lot of fighters don't now. They do sprints and things like that.
Yeah, it's a preference. Sprints ain't going to help with a 12-round fight,
No.
but a lot of them do, and it's good. But
I think some people are naturally conditioned guys. Have you ever seen guys like that?
They are, or you could. I mean, it depends how many rounds of pads and spar.
Bro, you remember Ricardo Williams in the amateurs? That dude didn't train for shit, and he could run through an amateur fight.
He was young too,
but he could run through an amateur fight like it was nothing.
Yeah, but I feel personally running for me.
Running is a
mentally. That's why I ran so much, because mentally it made me confident and knowing I'm in shape. But I think a lot of it comes down to your training in the gym too. Yeah. Like how many rounds of pads, because pads tire you the hell out. Sparring, how many rounds of sparring you're getting, that all plays into it too.
Yeah, and I think I agree. And Sal says he said more sprints and swimming. You know what though? I agree, but I think running's a staple for any fighter. I think it builds discipline. Whether you think you need it or not, it builds discipline. When you go run and you run, you've accomplished something. You know what I mean? And I think if it's worked for 150 years, there's something to it.
There is. It works.
Some of the old school stuff is still needed.
Hey, Mayweather loved running distance.
Mayweather run his ass off.
All-time greatest.
Yeah. But what it is, I think we get all these new training doctrines and all these new people, and they always want to make things easier.
Saul Garcia and Julian, dude, I used to run and I swam.
Yeah.
I what else did I do? I ran sprints.
You beat tires with sledgehammers.
Yeah, I did all that. I mean, it's so again, it comes down to like your comfortability and what makes you feel secure for the fight, knowing you're in shape. Running, if I went the whole camp without running, I don't know up here how I would feel going into the fight.
I think it's a mental edge. But Jude says, Jacobs didn't do bad against Triple G. No, I thought Jacobs beat Triple G in that fight. I had him up by a round or so in 115.
Again, I had to fight definitely for Jacobs. If he didn't get dropped.
Yeah, but I think that Jacobs still did enough to win that by round. But yeah, that's another fight that we just kind of go both ways. Running made me have confidence, and that's what. Look at Sal said. Running made me have confidence. Shoot, Kelly. I said that shit. Oh, thanks, Kelly.
No, I actually said that running.
I know, but I said
that
too. That it's discipline. It causes discipline. You know what I mean?
Discipline and confidence.
It's about the same.
No,
Maybe not. Maybe not. But you understand where I was going with that, right, Justin? That if you're running every day, it's discipline.
God dang it! God damn it, Sal. See what you just fucking started now?
Old school training, like James said, true. And you know what? It's true. You can always add, when it comes to boxing, it's great to add training, but it's not good to take away from training. Do you know what I mean? Don't take what's worked for 100 years away. Add to it.
If you want to do, and I like doing a lot of functional strength training too.
Yes.
Because it's boxing, and I'm not going to curl and
you ever had abs? Have you ever had abs in a fight?
No.
No?
It's genetics too.
Fuck, man.
So said, I've never had abs. Kelly, I once heard your trainer say you could run 5 miles in 25. No. I did run in 29:30. 5 miles in 29 minutes, 30 seconds.
That's fucking fast.
That's my fastest. So that's a big difference. That 4.5 minutes is a big difference in times. But no, I was scooting. And it was a flat run.
I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I ran it in 39:50, 5 miles. 39:50. I did just recently. Remember I sent you the times. Remember that? I sent you the times. You remember that?
We're going to have to go do this.
We can't. I sent you the times. You think I just made the time and just sent it to you?
No. I'm not saying you did.
I sent you the digital time, man. 39:50. That's not hard to do. That's a 8-minute mile.
That's scooting 5 miles without breaking.
Well, some were probably 7:30, some were 8, some was maybe 9. You know how it averages out. But I can run, man. I'm a good runner. That's why I'm 80 pounds down running.
Well, I lose 20 pounds. We're doing
it. I ran 3 kilometers in 13:13 back in high school. How far is that? Siren, we don't know. I don't.
Our metric system.
It's 1 kilometer. What? It's 2.2, right? What's the kilometer in a mile? How's that? Fucking metric scale.
Yeah, 5K is 3.2.
3.12, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it in the weight?
What?
Like weight is like 2 something to the
2.2.
2.2.
Yeah. 3,000 meters. Okay. Well, I think in the Army, I think I was running 2 miles in 13:30. I was running 2 miles in. Back when I was younger, I couldn't do it now. My heart would bust on my chest. Fucking, what was that? That's a 6 minute and 40-second mile, you know? Chris Bone Henderson, I think he's one of the better riders in the sport, man. I think he's a good rider. Chris Henderson, one of my favorite riders.
Where's he at?
Right here. He says, question, fellas, how do you feel about the flashy mint work we see so much of nowadays? I'm a much bigger fan of actual situational work. Oh, fuck.
I think that's mainly
bullshit.
For show.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and I don't think, believe me, I don't think that's Mayweather's training camp. I think when the cameras are on, you see people doing that. You think?
Yeah, I agree. I've seen Mayweather train in person over at 10 Goose. And I will tell you this, what you see on the camera with what Floyd does is not what he does in camp. When he's actually in camp and the cameras are on, he's doing functional mitt work.
Yeah.
He actually does functional mitt work. And so...
Yeah. I can, if you want to add it in the last round or two, because it is a good muscle burn when you do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to work on boxing situations. I want to see it.
You know, the problem with that is a lot of these guys don't know that. A lot of these young fighters don't know that he don't really do real mitt work. No. So they do all this bullshit mitt work and they think they're actually doing something. I don't care who you are. You're not throwing 12 punch combinations in a fight. 12 or 14 punch combinations. It's just never going to happen. You can count on 3 to 5 if you're really lucky, but you ain't getting 12 or 13 punches off.
Tony goes, this is a good question. I'm glad this one came up.
Okay.
What's gives better results? Skipping rope at a fast intensity for a long period of time or running? Tony, running is. I'm going to explain why. When I would get done for most of my training camps, and in both trainers, Jack and Robert wasn't really big on the rope either. He didn't care much. You know, here and there he'd tell you to jump. But I used to be so happy after I was done training, and Jack would be like, go give me 15 minutes straight on the rope. Now, not taking not 3 minutes and then taking a minute break. That was 15 minutes straight. That was a break to me. I was like, I was done. I was happy. I sit there without taking no break, just keep jumping. I would BS bullshit with everybody, talk to them, and jump rope. So once you learn how to jump rope and you're good at it, it's not really a tough workout. I mean, it's good to keep everything moving, I guess, but... So
get this. Bobby's so knee-deep in pussy and so far in love, he just found out that HBO is dropping boxing.
Oh, yeah.
He says, have you heard HBO is dropping their boxing program? What do you think about this? DAZN and ESPN apps. I think HBO is dropping boxing just because they're losing fighters and losing attendance, losing people viewerships.
Again, nothing towards women. I think women boxing needs to start off again on ESPN, Fox, and start building a base again.
I was not impressed with Heather Hardy.
No, and then you put that on. Unfortunately, for the most part, some people are just not interested in it until you bring it back up again. Now, as I'm saying. And then you go on your last show. I don't even know if there was last show too, though. They didn't say anything, and they keep talking about the B-ball fight.
Yeah, it might be it. B-ball might be it.
Might be it. So after you're saying after the B-ball fight, but this one was supposed to be the last one.
Chris says, "Bro, you all spot on how I feel. I do. I think it's just. I think it's a flashy thing. It's a generational thing. It's kind of. It doesn't teach anything. It builds. It might build muscle memory and but it's not doing nothing for technique, and it's not doing nothing for power. Sal has a good one, Kelly. The late cutman, Joe Chavez, once told me that don't fucking tap the fucking mitts or bag. Hit it like you want to go through it. Build strength in the arms. Absolutely.
Not only that, it goes for the same thing when a trainer will put you in with a kid who's fairly new or needs some work and he tells you to hold back.
Yes.
When you hold back punching, whether it be on pads, bag,
you do it in the ring,
or in sparring, especially sparring, you should never.
You do it in the ring.
Yeah, if there's no work for you and the only kid in the gym is a new kid and that's the only work you got, don't spar.
Yep.
If you got to hold back.
Yep.
You will fall into the habit of that. You will carry that, and you'll even carry it when you don't know you're carrying it. So it's horrible. Whenever you throw that damn punch, throw it like you do in a fight.
You ever
Absolutely.
You ever seen guys that do that and they start doing alligator arms because they're holding back? It's because bad training habits make bad fight habits.
Like a motor reflex. You get in that habit of it. You can't do that. So I would tell people. I told a kid actually, he trained at this Salem gym, and he was like, "Yeah, I got nobody to spar, so they keep making me, and I got to hold back." And he didn't even realize like the bad part of it. I told him like, "You keep doing that, you're going to take that into a fight," and he was taken into a fight.
Yes. Siren says, how would McCallum done against Jarrett Hurd? I think McCallum's a whole nother level above him right now. Jarrett Hurd's a young fighter. Yeah. McCallum, give Jarrett Hurd some time before we can even really say. That's like asking me how would Charlo done against Tommy Hearns or Roberto Duran or Hagler. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
We have no way to know. Rumor has it he is stepping, or when they tell you to lay on the ropes and have him throw at you, fuck that. Agreed. Guys, a lot of you guys don't know Sal Garcia was one of the best amateurs in the country, and he also was a great.
He's ugly as shit.
He is an ugly motherfucker. But he was a very good pro fighter and a great amateur. It turns and it does. Julian's right. It turns sparring partner syndrome. You do not want to get that sparring partner mentality as a pro. No. And I know for a lot of guys that's how they earn their living, but they lose a killer instinct.
Well, some of these guys will get paid very well too to be, and they're more content. I think the smart ones,
dude.
Actually, it's not smart. Being a professional sparring partner
I've known guys
will leave you punchier, quicker than being a fighter.
I've known sparring partners that make almost $250,000 a year.
Oh, hell yeah. I think Darnell Boone was making more money as a sparring partner than he did in his fights. He was making great money.
Patricia Chavez says, good job on your runs, guys. James, you're looking like a snack. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Where does she want to start eating at?
Let me know. But yeah.
Chris says Sal is next level ugly. Still a very good fighter. He is. I think we ran Sal off after that comment.
No, Ryan Irorio says, Klitschko didn't let his hands go when he fought Fury. That fight was a battle of jabs and huge jabs. Don't feel that fight holds any merit or credit to Fury. He let himself go with that layoff. I believe Wilder is a mismatch of Fury. I don't want to put too much on Klitschko, but he's 41 years old at the time, man. I don't know. Klitschko didn't let his hands go much in his prime.
He came back and fought the great Anthony Joshua.
He did.
And gave him a fight and literally just about had him out.
True.
It's the heavyweight division. Again, anything can happen. And what I'm saying, I got Wilder winning it. And the way I'm seeing it, which could totally be different than what I'm saying, I see it being an awkward, because of the style, an awkward fight for Wilder. And Wilder not being used to that height.
No, he's never had a punch up.
Yeah. And he's not fighting somebody his height.
Yeah.
He's fighting somebody taller.
No, if Fury wins, I would not be surprised. I'm just saying if I had to pick. If I had to bet 5 nickels on it.
Wilder. Yeah, absolutely. We got a YouTube question.
Yes.
Protect the King Boxing. This question is for Kelly about defense. Do you assume that the punches come in and make a move before you wait to really see it and then move? Defense. This question is for Kelly about the defense. Do you assume that the punches come in and make a move before you wait?
He means do you anticipate them?
Yeah. Or do you see them and then move? You know what? Very good question. It's a little bit of both. Sometimes when you're feeling it and you'll see, you can see things coming in slow motion. Yeah, you'll make that move when a punch is coming. A lot of times it's anticipation. A lot of times for me, I was more of a guy that, kept moving the hands. So I would watch the shoulders.
Yes.
I see the twitch of the shoulder or something coming. Even if it was a feint, I move my hands. But with a feint, I only move my hands that far. That way, if you did throw the feint or punch off the feint, I was right here.
Yes.
Everything, a lot of fighters real quick get in the habit of when they block a jab, they come out like this and block it. It's very dangerous because they feint that and come over with a hook. You got to bring it all the way back. So if you keep it here, simple things like that. We'll break it down again one time in the
Technique Tuesday.
Technique Tuesday.
But for me, you know what? For me, it was patterns. I would see that. You know, in the amateurs, it's easier to see your opponent before he fights. You're going to see him in a tournament. You're going to see him fight 2 or 3 fights before he gets to you. And in most cases, most amateurs lead the same way every time because that's how we're trained. And then you throw a couple jabs, you kind of get a rhythm down. You kind of get the rhythm a little bit. And you can feel when it's coming. If you've had so many amateur fights, and I know you have had plenty too, you feel it. You know when the punch is coming. There's like a sixth sense, and you know that jab's coming, right? Mm-hmm. And you're already moving from it. You're slipping it or you're knocking it away.
You pick up on it.
You can feel it.
Yeah,
it's like the air gets really thin or thick. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, here comes the jab. I can feel it coming. Or you know what I hated? Right when they would say fight, and that dude light you with this giant ass jab right away, like bam, like fuck, that just happened.
Especially once you get to a certain level too, though. I mean,
Thank you, Johnny.
Obviously you got really good reflexes to be able to do some of the things you do. So it just
who was the best fighter defensively that you fought other than Bernard? I was going to ask you, like, I know you were going to hit Bernard with that, but I mean defensively, who was the one that was like, fuck, he was better than you thought?
Or Thompson was pretty good.
Well, yeah, he fucking.
Yeah, he was known for that. Sergio.
Sergio?
Yeah.
Was it his feet that made him dangerous, or was it?
But he'd make little subtle moves at the last second with his shoulders and everything. Thanks, Ryan. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And it said, Greg says, Clit, really? Oh, Klitschko hadn't fought anybody that was taller than more reach. Fury really seemed to negate his normal defense. You know, Klitschko did fight Corey Sanders, which was just as big as him. And
Corey Sanders 6'4".
He was just close, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, kind of. No.
It's about the same distance that Klitschko and Wilder are going to be. Not Wilder, but Wilder and Fury's going to be from each other. Difference in that, right?
Yeah, probably.
He did fuck Klitschko up, though, didn't he? Corey Sanders? You know he got killed, right? Corey Sanders did? He got like shot in the stomach and died.
YouTube question.
What was James Styles an amateur? Oh man. Peekaboo. You know what? I had that I know it sounds like I had that Oxnard style of fighting because that's how I was trained, was like that Oxnard, that Los Angeles style. So we threw a lot of combination punches. We weren't like defensively spectacular, but I threw a lot of punches. I threw a lot of combination punches. I try to rely more on being more conditioned than the guys I fought. I mean, that's really it. You know, we threw awkward combinations. Like you would see like, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2. You would see stuff like that. Hooking off the jab.
Yeah.
Hooking off the jab, throwing a straight right, and then throwing a right uppercut right after, and then a left hook. Just something different.
Body work, probably.
A lot of body work, because I was shorter than a lot of the guys I fought.
What else are we going to talk about?
Whatever you want. What do we have going on? Oh, Julian. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Julian says, after 3 years plus going to the gym and sparring amateur fights, you should have some proficiency. Yeah, I mean, I heard he was Los Angeles Machismo. James was. I wish, Julian. To be honest, I was probably a B-level amateur. I'm not gonna say. I was a B-level in Los Angeles in the 80s and 90s. It was a hotbed. It was like being in Ohio in the 80s to the 2000s. There was guys out there
like 90s and
there was Oscar De La Hoya, there was Larry Lloyd, there was the Diaz brothers, there was Daniel Peralta, fucking guys like Sal Garcia. Do you know what I mean? There was fucking guys that could just end your day anytime. Every major tournament, like you go to the State Fair in Pomona, you go to these places, there was guys that would take your lunch money.
I just gotta say one thing though. I fought a dude from Oxnard, California in the amateurs.
Who'd you fight?
I told you, I say Arthur Shirley.
Oh yeah, you beat him.
Stopped him. Yeah. Second round.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Roberts fighter.
No, but he was.
I know. I remember who he was.
This Youngstown boy. Justin, I found that too. Small world, man.
Hey, this is
Oxnard.
You got a question, Kelly? Nate, this is Nate. Sorry, I was putting wood. Hi, Nate. How are you doing?
Where's Nate?
Oh, I got the YouTube. Justin sent it to me. YouTube.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Nate?
Hey, Nate. Nate's growing up, man.
Oh, what's going on, Nate?
Nate's been splitting wood. Nate's. Yeah, he's growing up. Nate's a good kid. He's playing football too.
That's awesome.
Who is the current pound for pound fighter of today? Well, me and Kelly have different opinions. I say it's Crawford.
I just had Crawford's trainer, who I'm a huge fan of, and now they probably hate me. They're probably
motherfucking you all right now.
He's probably telling Terrence right now, like, fuck Pavlik, but it was nothing. I think Crawford's great. And having him in that top 3 is what I'm saying. It's not out of the question that he's number 1.
They're all close.
Yeah, they are. But I have Lomachenko just because of what he did so early.
Yes, I agree.
And again, guys, like this goes all different ways. And I have Spence because of the size at welter. And like I was explaining before, and I didn't want to sound like I was shook. I mean, I was caught off guard. But I had Spence at number 2 due to the fact that at that time, Crawford was still fighting junior welterweight when we had this argument.
Yes.
And then I didn't get a chance to see Crawford and what he could do at 147. Mm-hmm. So I still have to stand. I said that margin got really close, and that's a fight that's up in the air. But I'm still leaning towards Spence because he's so big for a welterweight.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Sal said, is Mikey fighting Spence? Yes, in February, Sal. I think they signed the fight already.
See Spence.
Hi, Ashley. Sergio wants to ask you, Kelly, are these new boxing outlets, ESPN and DAZN, better for the sport?
I think right now it is. Absolutely. It's getting people to watch the fights, and people are tuning in. They're putting on world title fights and everything else, and it's giving more access, and it's cheaper than these big networks. I think it's great. Yeah. And I think it's still great that Showtime or one of these big networks carries boxing also, though, because that way we can still keep that old school feel to the sport also.
I think it gives fighters more bargaining power. What do you think?
It does.
It does. They have more options instead of fighting HBO Showtime. You have DAZN, ESPN, you have the Bongo channel, the Ocho. I mean, you have all these different things you can watch boxing on now. It gives you more bargaining power.
YouTube question, Michael Cooper. Why do old boxing people have the delusion that the fighters from the 30s, 40s, and 50s
we talk about this all the time,
are better than fighters now?
We talk about all the time.
It sure doesn't look. First, a big thing is people get stuck in when they're growing up as childhood people, okay?
Memories.
Their memories, and that's like their generation, and that's their guys. So they're going to stick to them guns because at that time boxing was so huge, and to this day, people that know boxing know these big names, okay? Because of just the history of it.
Yes.
Today, guys are bigger, faster, stronger in every sport. And it's proven, and you see it happening. And don't get me wrong, some athletes in certain sports like track, some of the guys still have records and whatnot. But guys are bigger, faster, stronger. So, I don't think they were better. But to put it this way, but if you gave them guys, like I said all the time, if you gave a Jim Brown in football or a Walter Payton to technology today, because that was a good long time ago. I mean, times changed.
1950s and
just 10 years ago from when I was fighting, the difference in sports equipment and shit like that. Yeah, so if you gave Jim Brown what we have today, God only knows how good he would have been.
Yes.
If you got guys like Mickey Mantle, who still had the fastest time from home plate to first base.
Ever, yeah.
Today's technology, boxing, if you gave Muhammad Ali, or guys like that, or Frazier.
Reyes gloves that stood steady on your hand instead of those floppy tough wears.
Yep, or Sugar Ray Leonard, if you gave him, Sugar Ray Robinson, the technology that guys have
training
today.
Gear,
the training, yes, the supplements.
Yes.
Legal, I'm just saying legal supplements. The advancement in technology and studies on that. The difference that there would be. If you gave them the Vertimax, right here, this Vertimax equipment and things like that for the fast twitch muscle, the advantage that they would have. So that's actually a good question.
It is. Amanda Stevens-Myers said, hey guys, sorry for logging on. Nate, Dad, and I have split and hauled wood all night. That's awesome. Yeah, we just talked to Nate, Amanda. That's awesome. We're just talking about him growing up so big. He's growing up to be a young man.
And he's really out proud of wood.
Him. He's out splitting wood. He's such a hard worker. Sergio said, James and Kelly, I think you should write a recommendation letter for Esteban so he can judge on DAZN. He might be an improvement over some of the judges we have now.
I need you to write one to get me commentating on that.
Roger, today our topic is the pound for pound list, right?
No, I'm done with the fucking pound for pound.
No, I know,
list.
but he was asking what the topics were. Pound for pound, Mikey and Spence.
Topic was Danny Jacobs, damn it.
Danny Jacobs. Bro, you nailed 3 fighters in a row. But
now I gotta call Lee Samuels.
You do?
No.
Yeah, we got to try to get something to Lee. Do they have high school boxing teams? I believe. You know, they used to, Julian, back in the like 60s and 70s and 50s.
You got college, you got collegiate boxing.
I fought collegiate boxing. Yeah. I fought for the University of Texas on their boxing team.
Armed Forces.
Yes, they did. Armed Forces is a premier team.
Yeah. Again, okay, Ryan right here. Mentally and emotionally, those old school fighters were tougher.
I don't know.
They didn't have the science, regiments, and nutrition they have now, so the bodies are bigger, faster, stronger now. But those guys were grimmer because they had to be. You can't say that. Just like when we had this argument, they used to fight 15 rounds, and guys today don't fight 15 rounds. But if you had a guy today train for 15 rounds, or if you never got rid of the 15 rounds, it would be the same thing. The guys today would be able to go 15 rounds. It wasn't because they were stronger and tougher back then that they were able to do 15 rounds.
So are you going to tell me Roberto Duran was the ultimate tough guy? He ultimate. What did he do? How many times he quit? And when things got hard on Roberto Duran, he was known to fold up.
Exactly.
And so don't give me that. They were tougher back then. They weren't. They weren't.
I mean, I
would put Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward or Diego Corrales against any one of those fucking guys from the 60s and 70s.
Santa Cruz.
Leo Santa Cruz.
Abner Mars.
Crawford even.
Chocolatito.
Any of those guys when it comes to toughness. Fighters are tough. They're tough. It doesn't matter. Yep. I mean, you're going to have a guy that quits a lot. You're going to have a Victor Ortiz, and you're going to, you know what I mean? For one Victor Ortiz. But for the most part, these guys aren't going to quit.
Exactly.
Amanda wants to know how tall you are, Kelly.
I am under 6'2".
He's 6'2".
So I'm not 6'2".
Esteban has nailed Porter versus Garcia, Triple G versus Canelo, and Jacobs on the dot. Yeah, he has. I watch his shows. He does really good at that. He knows his boxing. I can't even argue that.
YouTube question.
Oh, yes, sir.
Michael Cooper. Kelly, have you ever heard information on a fixed fight? You being in gyms all your life, you don't have to be specific. The guy Charles Furl said he fixed hundreds of fights. I could honestly tell you right now, I have not ever heard of it. As far as now fixing, talking to the fighter himself for the fighter to throw a fight, no. I know that a big thing came about because somebody heard about that, so obviously it must have happened.
Yeah.
But what they started doing, a lot of the commissions were they would start holding your fight purse. So if they had any idea or they thought just that much that you threw the fight, they would hold your purse and you would not get paid for that fight. Not even if you waited 30 days or not. No, you did not get paid for the fight. So with that being said, and now going as far as, is there anything being fixed as far as who's hiring the judges? I don't know.
Well, what about the fight with Wilder and his buddy? Remember they fought that, and he barely got hit he got hit in the hands with the left hook, and he dropped. He fell. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but is that taking a fall? Is that so much a guy feeling the wind of that punch saying, fuck this, I don't want to do it no more?
Well, he was training out of 10 Goose. I can't remember his name. He was training out of 10 Goose. And I always thought, fuck, did he just lay down for his buddy?
But he may have been afraid. That may not have been so much him taking a fall. Yeah. He probably said, he was going into it thinking, what does the Tyson say? Everybody got a game plan until they get hit. All he had to feel was the win from that 6'6" guy.
But they both were 6'6", and they both were friends and really close friends.
Maybe. And did his purse get held?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But let me ask you this. Say like your best buddy's a fighter, right? Your best friend, and you have to fight him, right?
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Would you hold back? Would you feel bad?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, dude.
I'd feel. You know what? If I would be.
No.
I would have been offended if you did hold back.
No, you know what? For instance, Roger Roman, when we sparred,
you didn't hold back, did you? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because we were friends. I think he probably held. I hope he did.
He didn't hold back.
He better have.
No, but what I'm saying, like if it was ever a case and I fought you, I would be offended if you held back.
No, I know, but
because I would want you to think that I was quality enough for you to fucking knock me out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like Vinny O'Neill.
Yeah.
I sparred when we were young. I didn't go. I've sparred and we threw punches, but I wasn't going in there to like see a lot of blood. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was working with him. Yeah, it's hopefully the same. Yeah, you like, sir. It all depends on the sparring partner. Again, that's why it's important for the trainer to pick who you're sparring. Now, Billy Lau.
Yeah.
I tried destroying that kid
because
Billy Lau was a little asshole.
Yeah.
He would like put his head down. He had a real hard head, and he knew my hands were tender at the time for that camp. So he like every time I go to punch, he would go like this. And just put his head down like that.
You should have just took that step back and fed him up front.
I tried, dude, but he had a hard. No matter you hit Billy, it hurt.
That's why Chavez had problems with him.
Yeah, and he knew what he was doing. He knew that, and I tell him all the time after we get done.
You know, my thing was this, man. I didn't care if they were friends. I didn't care if they were family. You know, I knocked my own brother out. You know, I knocked my own brother out in the state Golden Gloves. I fought Chris in the state Golden Gloves. I knocked my own brother out in 48 seconds of the first round. And you know what? My whole family, their jaws hit the ground, and none would talk to me. Bro, my brother is not keeping me from getting a motherfucking trophy.
I sparred Ricky.
Yeah. Did you try to hurt him?
We went at it, man.
Yeah.
Me and Ricky had better boxing matches with the 1930s gloves in the living room.
The floppy leathers?
Yeah. Louis Alessio's dad.
The brown ones, right? The dark brown ones?
Louis Alessio's dad was fighting in the 40s. Sergio Kelly, you look like a Peterbilt truck. You look like a solid 240. Is that a compliment?
Yes, he said you look like a Mack truck.
Thank you, Sergio. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he did. But no, I had no problem knocking out my own brother. My brother's not keeping me from a trophy, and he's not keeping me from moving up to the Nationals. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what, though? My brother was 48-3 as an amateur at the time, and he never fought again after that fight. I retired him. He does construction for a living.
Yeah, and maybe I retired Ricky, too.
You probably did. Bro, Sergio, they were mad at me for a long time. They were like, how could you do that to your brother? He loves you. No, he didn't. He was trying to get a trophy. But no.
He should have, you know what? He should have put the time in and went down a different weight class.
Right? I went up to him. He was bigger.
Oh, you went up on purpose?
I went up. Yeah, I went up to 25 because
that's an asshole move.
Bro, my brother was 6 foot, 125 pounds, man. I was 5'6", 5'5". You know what I mean? But I had...
That's an asshole. You went up. You were targeting.
Dude, I had 30 pro fights. 30 more amateur fights than he did.
I know, and you were going after him.
Yeah. No, he went... We both... he won his fight, and I won my fight.
Chris could have went up to light heavyweight, and James would have went up and fought him.
No, we never even...
He was trying to get trophies.
We never sparred. But he won his fight, and we got matched.
You were making sure he didn't come home with trophies. I think he didn't have any.
Yeah. No, he won, and I won. And I even know who he beat. You know who he beat? He beat a kid. He beat Raymond Corsican out of Phoenix. I remember he beat that Corsican kid, and I thought that Corsican was going to whoop his ass because Corsican beat me early in the year. So I was like, this is going to be easy. He's going to be out of it. That motherfucker walked right through him. I thought,
Ryan Larillo, does the winner of Spence Garcia fight Crawford?
I don't know, man.
I think it absolutely should.
I think it should, but will Top Rank do business with... If Mikey wins, will Top Rank do business with Mikey?
They're going to have to because it's going to be a demand because there's your 3 top guys.
Yes.
Right there.
I don't see Mikey and them looking for that fight, though. Do you see them? And I love Mikey and I love Robert. You know how we're close. Right. But that's not a fight that you hear them say, hey, I think they know the situation with Top Rank. That's why there's no point. I think
so, but eventually I think it'll get made.
Dude, if you have these last 3 fights, right? Just say Mikey has 3 more fights, like he's saying, and it's Spence, Lomachenko, and Crawford. That would be a way to go out, wouldn't it?
Oh, hell yeah.
And if you won them all, dude, you just punched your own ticket to the Hall of Fame.
If you won half of them, you're a Hall of Fame.
You punched your ticket to the Hall of Fame.
All right. Kelly, have you thought of coming back to light heavyweight?
The money's got light heavyweight.
Yeah, I could if the money was right. I'm talking like 6-7 mil. Yeah.
12?
Bro, I'll lose the weight tomorrow.
Hey, let me ask you.
How'd you do it? Don't ask.
Hey, you know what? The only question I'd ask you, Kelly, is what color corner jacket am I getting?
Yeah, right.
I just want to carry a bucket, man. I don't need to train you. I just want to carry the spit bucket. You know what I mean? I want to be a bucket gimp. Let me ask you this, Kelly.
Well, real quick.
Okay, sorry about that.
YouTube. No, go ahead. This is real quick.
No, go ahead.
Nate the Great says, "Thank you for the boxing gloves, Kelly." Hey, buddy, no, anytime, not a problem.
You say anytime. He's gonna want a pair every week. No,
within reason.
I know. Hey, but I got a question for you. If you did come back, who would be your cornerman?
Oh.
Come on, man. Let's hear it. Be honest. Everybody's listening. There's ears all over the place.
That's an asshole question.
No, it's not. No, it's Absolutely not. Who would be your head trainer?
I'm already in trouble by Crawford's trainer.
So what?
I got you asking.
No, hey, you're not hurting my feelings.
Well, I don't know. Probably Garcia.
Robert Garcia is a head trainer. Mm-hmm. Who would be your cut man?
I like to keep some of my old team too, though. I wouldn't mind having like probably Jack back in the corner for old time's sake.
Right.
More of the,
Yeah.
comfortability. Cutman Miguel Diaz.
Miguel, yes.
Or actually, I take that back. That's a tough one because I love Rudy.
Rudy too is great.
And Rudy does such a great job.
I think.
But but again, what I'm saying is the comfortability.
Yes.
I didn't have Rudy though.
You had him once, right?
Because pretty much Top Rank picked.
Yes.
They're the ones who had. So Miguel Diaz or Rudy.
Okay.
I had Rudy for one fight and I loved it.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it. Cornerman, that would be somebody totally fucking different. It would not be my cornerman that I had. James, I'd probably pick Roger Romo.
You motherfucker. Hey! I'm leaving. Hey, Roger's sparring, right? Roger's a sparring partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, Roger's a sparring partner.
I would have Roger in camp. No, you'd be my corner man.
Of course. You know what? Even if you didn't let me be a corner man, I'd get a corner jacket. I'd still show the fuck up.
My brothers would be there.
Hey, everybody have that gold corner jacket. I have some white one. Like, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. I'm just part of the team.
Dan Ferrari must have been kicking back some Bud Lights tonight because he's getting that dude looking that funny. That motherfucker can make an onion cry.
Hey,
he goes, doesn't matter on the cut, man, because you can't fix that ugly face. Dick.
Sergio says, you never been KO'd. I never saw you receive massive damage. Come back, fight Bivol for $6 million.
Dude, $6 million? I don't know. Man.
You fight Bivol's mom and dad too, wouldn't you? Dude, $6 million for Bivol? You could get 10 out of the Russian mob.
Bivol, fuck me up, man. Right now.
He's little, man. I don't know.
Bullshit.
He's little.
I'll have to lose weight too.
Yeah, but he's really little. He's not a very
I'm done with that shit, man. I did that for 12 years. No, longer. 9.
You know what I would like to see you do?
I did that for 21 years.
Dude, you know what would be a better fight than Bivol?
$6 million, fuck yeah.
Bro,
I'll come back.
$6 million against Beateroff. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't gonna outdance you. He ain't gonna do none of those things but come to you like a monster. You know what I mean?
You want some of these?
Yes, Beateroff. $6 million.
$6 million.
Kovalev?
Yes.
Dude, Kovalev? You'd fuck Kovalev up.
Dude, listen, okay, if you're gonna be honest, and I had a 3-fight comeback tour, I would fight all 3 of them for $6 million each. Absolutely.
Yes.
You know what? If you were giving me that guarantee, I'd fight all 3 of them for $4 million each.
Yes. It says Martinez cut you up a little.
Yeah, so what? Julian, I think he cut you up too. He hit you with a body shot and cut you. I'm joking. That was horrible.
I've seen a few warrants cut Julian up. Sir, I'm not so sure Sergio would have become middleweight champ if your cut was under control.
So I'll go see. I'd have you on my team, maybe.
Not as a sparring partner. He's still 126 pounds.
So you'd be over there instigating fucking fights though through the team.
He would be instigating some shit. You know what though? I'd rather see you at cruiserweight.
Hey, listen, you guys put a call into these promoters.
Oh, bro, they would take you in a minute. If you announce,
tell them you give me that could be all their tune-up fights.
Bro, if you came up and you announced a comeback, you'd have Top Rank give you a call. Top Rank would give you a call that first week. I guarantee Top Rank would call you.
I think so, because
it would. And they would give you a big fat bonus too. You know what I mean? Because
no, they would not give my old.
Yeah, they would.
Out of shape. Yes, 6 years retired ass.
Bro,
no
they would give you a holding contract where no one else could. They would give you a holding contract where no one else could sign you.
Gave me a signing bonus.
They would make you a holding contract where DAZN couldn't sign you.
Maybe they would. I don't know.
DAZN would love to have you fight all them Russians. Dude, you could fight Roy Jones at cruiserweight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Kelly, I'm just curious, what was your after parties like? Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I know it's going to sound crazy for all the fucking rumors and, how I lived. After the Taylor fight, dude, we had the room wasn't that big that we stayed in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Had probably 20 people in there. And to be honest with you, if it was a first round knockout, I probably would have fucking been partying like crazy. But I was so tired, man. I did have a beer after. We did. By the time we got back to the room, it was
you ate steak and pizza.
2 o'clock in the morning. By the time with the post fight conference and everything else,
you were signing autographs and shit.
Yeah, but I was so my nose. I had my nasal cavity was broke. My body was beat up. I just fought a world title fight, dude. I didn't even finish that first beer. I mean, it was going down like broken glass. So it really wasn't the second Taylor fight in Vegas. We had just mainly a lot of Youngstown people that came there. They came up to the hotel room. We didn't have no certain place open or no nightclub. We stayed in my hotel room, which was big. and we all just sat around bullshitted, and it was it. Usually after a fight, man, you're done. You're spent.
Yeah. Julian says, I could swing him, James. Ask a few of your friends. I believe that, Julian. I'm not saying you couldn't. But Glenn says...
Yeah, we were joking around, dude.
Yeah, we're joking.
Nobody's doubting that.
Kelly, isn't he a drug dealer who beats up dogs and guys fighting again?
Who?
Glenn Burr said that.
Who does that?
He said, Kelly Pavlik. He's talking about you. Isn't he a drug dealer who beats up dogs and guys fighting again? I think he's joking.
I think that's probably one of the rumors in Youngstown, yes.
Yes.
You might have something.
Bro, I've heard some crazy shit, man.
Oh, I know.
You know, I heard from one person saying that they were out boozing with you like 2 weeks ago, and I know for a fact they weren't boozing with you because I was talking to you, and you were that night. I was talking to you, and you were and I was trying to tell you that night to watch the Haunted Hill House.
Yeah.
So I knew you weren't out boozing anywhere because you were trying to figure out how to get the Haunted Hill House on Netflix. How do you like that?
It's awesome,
dude.
I'm actually. We were supposed to be done with the show, so I can go home and watch it.
Did you finish the whole thing?
Don't say anything.
That 10th episode fucked me up, though, didn't it? Did it?
I don't think it's that scary.
It's not scary, man. But what episode are you on? What episode, Kelly, are you on?
I'm going on 7 tonight.
Okay, we're not gonna tell you nothing. I'm just saying it gets fucked up.
Okay, good.
Wasn't the mom hot? Wasn't she like creepily hot?
She is really hot. That woman.
She was. You know what, dude? She was naked. She was naked in Entourage. Do you remember her, Amanda? That was her name, Amanda.
Hey, before we get to
she
this,
was
I'm gonna have to Google that. So I'll be the hype man and instigate. Get the other guy mad.
Yeah, Sal will.
You know that Big Bob in Walmart say Kelly hates. Big Bob.
Big Bob.
Kelly hates Ohio State.
Big Bob says Kelly hates. He does. You do hate Ohio State.
Yeah, I hate Ursuline.
No. Big Bob said Kelly hates Youngstown High School and he roots for Columbus because he was sitting in Columbus section. Now, tell everybody why you were in Columbus, because our buddy was from Columbus watching his son.
Hey, as a matter of fact, for all the rumors on me, that kid Dan Ferrari that's on here, he was the one with me with the lamppost.
What?
He was the one with me with the lamppost incident. Yeah, he was the one on the other four-wheeler. And he knows the story.
Yeah.
And it was bullshit. And Dan, you better open your mouth.
You better open your mouth.
No, Sal, we know that, homie.
We do.
It's not scary.
You got about what?
Columbus said it's not scary, just super. Allegedly, yeah.
We got about 5 minutes.
Dan was good. I know. Then we got to close up. Yeah. Dan was there. Actually, Dan, if we could tell that story, the real truth to it was funny. The whole incident. But.
Is it Mia, or was the 175-pound division the new Soviet Union for a while? Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I would definitely say so. And the Cubans, you have Sullivan Barrera, and then the other one that's in there. The one that Bivol knocked out.
Bivol knocked out Barrera.
Okay, but who was the other one? Kovalev. No, he was Canadian. Kovalev fought.
Yeah.
Okay.
He fought a white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bivol knocked out Barrera.
Yeah, it was you Russian Ukrainians there. Definitely, though. I don't know, though.
Dude, listen, them Eastern Europeans are kind of taking over the sport, man.
And I told you, like I was saying, the Eastern Europeans have a different mentality than the American fighters. They work as a team unit. And
they're not the Eastern Europeans of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
No.
I mean, these guys are athletic as hell. They're
well schooled in the sport.
Yeah, they're just like really fast. We need our guys to like really pick it up. Yeah. Our amateur program, start getting more experience in the amateurs and that slick style back and bringing that into,
because that's how you beat Russian, is that slick style and that counter punching style. Remember back in the 70s and 80s. Beating Russia was not hard because Russians would come to you and they would just be in shape and they would throw 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It was just easy.
Just get somebody for a sparring partner that was 4 inches taller than you.
Yeah, and they would hurt you because they were so strong and conditioned. But Americans usually didn't have a lot of trouble with them. The Cubans gave Americans a lot of trouble.
They did.
But now these dudes know how to slip punches and they know they can fight.
Right. Sal said one last thing. Bobby is pussy sprung that.
Yeah, Bobby sprung that. Siren said, do you know any Norwegian fighters? Brackets don't count. You know what, Siren, I remember, not Norwegian so much, but I remember Jimmy Bredal. I remember Johnny. I was a big fan of both of them. I actually saw Jimmy Bredal fight Oscar De La Hoya at the Grand Olympic Auditorium back in, was it 94? Maybe 93, 94, when he fought for his first WBO title at 130 or 128. So yeah, I remember them. I was big fans of him and Johnny. Heard there may not be boxing, and that's true, Glenn. They're talking about pulling boxing. We don't know though. Delilah Rico would know more than we would. She's a big representative for the boxing U.S. Olympic boxing team.
I think Alvarez, Stevenson, and Betterby all fighting out of Montreal.
Yes. Yeah. But and then thank you, Sergio. We appreciate it. He said your show.
Thanks, Sergio.
Thank you for
appreciate
the gems. Burchelt Roman should be 4 this weekend. I agree. I didn't they fight already? Burchelt and Roman?
I don't know. I just caught the.
Yeah, I thought Roman just fought.
Oh, real quick, like real fast. Yeah. What did you think about the co-main event on Machado?
Machado is good, but I
did too early.
I know Evans. I know Jadion Evans.
Viking Herm knows some Lions.
That Evans that had fought. He was in juvenile prison for like ever at Marion.
If you guys didn't know, we throw dirt out there too.
No, but I'm just saying he's a high-ranking blood. I remember when he was after he got out, he was an amateur.
That's surprising too, because he seems so cool in the interviews.
Until you looked at the tattoos and saw they were all blood tattoos.
Streets.
But yeah, he was in there for like years and years in the Supermax. Marion was a Supermax. Remember, it was Tico, right? Back then they used to call it Tico. But Marion was a Supermax for the juveniles, and the juveniles were like 16 to 20 years old at the time. Mm-hmm. So he was in there, and he was a shot caller in that juvenile. Yeah. He was like a main shot caller, and I remember him. But yeah.
Did that really have anything to do with the fight?
It does, because he was fighting in there. He was knocking motherfuckers out in there.
Did he have an amateur?
He did. He had an amateur career before going in. But I remember him. But Machado is so good. He might be the next Puerto Rican star. They don't have anybody now. He might be it.
I know.
It's surely not Verdejo.
Because here's my thing. I hate that early. And I know everybody will say, "Well, you do it." Well,
he did it. He did it last fight too.
I know. I hate that early though. But I agree with you. I do. I mean, the way he throws his punches, the way he uses his height and the leverage, even on the inside. I know it sounds weird, tall fighter, and he's on the inside. He throws really good punches. I think he could be.
Ryan says, James, did you ever move around or work with Fernando Vargas in your Oxnard days? Would you like to answer that guy? Yes, I've known Fernando a long time. He's actually a cousin of mine, so yeah, I know Fernando really well.
James ain't got PTSD from being in the military.
I got PTSD from fighting those motherfuckers in Oxnard. Yes, Rudy is in Roman's corner this week. That's a big feather in the cap. But I think I'm going to take Burchelt in that fight. I'm going to take Burchelt over Roman.
I got to go with Roman.
But yeah,
just because you said that, plus Rudy's in his corner.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Burchelt. But
I don't know much on Burchelt at all. I know Roman.
Yes, but yes, I did. I worked with Big G, and I worked with all those guys as a kid. I know most of them. Yes, Fernando's family. I actually lived in Fernando's house with Roger. I actually lived in Fernando's childhood home with Roger. So yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we's gonna wrap up because we keep this show short and sweet now.
We can't do 2 hours, guys. We'd love to, but
keep you guys wanting to come back. But listen, if you got questions, you can still send the questions to the page. James will be able to answer them for you due to the fact that I am in Facebook jail till
you
Thursday.
Are Facebook jail. But did you tell me about next week? You got new co-host next week.
Oh, next week I got a new co-host.
I'm gone, guys. I'm out.
I can't do that. He's not really gone. He's going to be in Arizona.
No, Albuquerque.
He's moving into Tijuana. He's going to drink margaritas and bake senoritas.
Well, let me ask you this.
For one week.
Kelly is sending me on all expense paid trip to go see a donkey show, right? You're going to see the donkey show?
Well, that's funny you say that because Dave Martinez says, how many kangaroos can Kelly and James beat before the kangaroos become too much?
I would say Kelly can beat 2 and I can beat a little one, a Joey.
I will beat the shit out of kangaroo.
Dude, kangaroo will fuck you up, Kelly.
I know with a leg, but I will get something in.
Oh, yeah, but could you imagine getting kicked by them long-ass feet with those claws?
I would not want to.
But, oh, yeah. What do you think about that? Before we get off, Ryan Garcia is being trained by Canelo's trainer.
Who is?
Ryan Garcia is being trained by Canelo's trainer.
Sweet.
That's fucking huge, man.
As much
That's
as
awesome.
you're a Facebook Joe, why don't you make an account just for the show? I don't feel like going through that. Then if I have to log out of this Facebook account, I won't remember the password to get back in.
I know, Scott, but we appreciate you watching, buddy. You're one of our favorite people. But
and that's see why he's in Facebook jail 3 times more than me. That's why he's got 5 different accounts.
that's right.
I've only been in
Jail once.
twice in the last 3 months.
But you have some petty friends, man.
I'm a Facebook jailbird.
You've never
You
been?
haven't? Well, you do. You did the real thing, man. I don't think you
You
need
do
it.
the real thing. You're the the most interesting man in the world is not the Dos Equis guy. It's Justin Fortuna.
It is.
Justin Fortuna is the most interesting guy in the world.
You don't need the Facebook.
Dude, when he told me he went to a 5-star restaurant in pajama pants, I was like, dude, we got to keep this guy forever, man. He's a fucking monster. You would go to a 5-star restaurant in slippers and
We're going to have to find some very big people. If you ever...
John Deere.
Hey, listen, if you ever threaten to leave the show, we're going to have to find some very powerful people to keep him here.
Yeah, we'll make some calls. Even though, but no, like thank you, Esteban, appreciate it. But no, I like Ryan Garcia being trained by Canelo's crew. I don't think his last trainer was really that productive for him. I think maybe Canelo's trainer will help him out. But I agree with Sal. I'm going to take Burchell. Burchell's a monster.
Dan, that's the easy one.
It's true, Julian. I stay in jail for memes. I agree,
if
Jeff.
you guys see what I got put in for, bullshit.
With the shit James posts, you think he'd be in Facebook jail. I do go there. I go there about what, once a month?
Exactly,
Twice a month?
yeah. But James got like literally 12 or 13 different accounts.
I got 5.
So like I send messages to him and I'm like, he ain't going to get that one, but he does.
Right?
Do you have to log out each time?
I have to log out, log in, because it tells me I have a message and I don't see it. I know it's on the other page.
I think I am. I think next week I'm going to start a new
Did
Facebook
you
account.
did you
Just a new one overall.
Yeah, did you get the violin thing?
Yeah, I did.
How
I
was
got
it?
to get the notes to it.
She can play by ear.
Yeah.
If I get the notes, it's gonna be too difficult because that's advanced. But you know,
I'd be surprised. She talented.
no, I know that, but let her learn by. I learned it by ear. She can play by ear.
All right.
Oh, who's the co-host next week?
I don't know yet, guys.
It's going to be Kelly and somebody.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, while I'm in Albuquerque, I am going to do a punchline interview live video with Danny Romero.
But I'm blocking you for the week since you want to go leave.
But I'm doing a live interview.
Record it, send it to me
I will.
via text message, and then I'll play it.
But I'm doing a live interview with Danny Romero from his gym in Albuquerque.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to also have an interview with Teresa Tapia, Johnny Tapia's widow.
Would there be a way we could get that on video?
I will send it to you. I can email it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it on.
Yeah, because I'm blocking you from the show, though.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm doing the interview with Danny Romero. So it'll be a punchline interview. Scott wants you to have a Viking Herm on, but he doesn't know boxing, guys.
Well, we're going to get Viking Herm back. I'm tired of hearing his
shit.
clinicals.
Hey, you need to get Vinny and Brian on with you.
I think I am going to do
Or
Vinny.
Lonnie or Vinny or Brian.
Yeah, I think I am going to do. But Vinny and Brian, they're in the local scene, but we're going to get them into.
They know regular boxing.
We're going to get them into the regular boxing, and we're going to see. And I may even bring Lonnie in too. We'll
I
figure
think
it
so,
out.
man. I think you'd have a good show. But I am going to call in. Can I call in?
I'm going to let you know now. If there's a way we could widen up one more thing to get 3
Lonnie
people
in?
on.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I just moved the camera.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, hey, thanks for listening. And what do they need to do, Kelly? What do people need to do?
You need to subscribe, mainly subscribe, share,
Like, and hit that little bell.
There you go.
That little bell icon up top.
We'll have to get one more copy and bring another green screen.
Oh,
You got another one?
Dan says, in the show with one of your old school raps, Kelly.
No, Dan.
No. Quit fucking bullshitting me. Yeah. Hey, guys, if anybody's in the Albuquerque area, let me know, and we'll meet up, man, and we'll do some lunch, and we'll go both talk to Danny Romero and Teresa Tapia, Johnny Tapia's widow. And so, hey, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to do a live show from there.
Sounds good. And we'll have that video of it, and we'll put it on, and you guys can see the interview. I think that's pretty awesome that he's going to be doing that with Danny Romero, and that's really good. So tune in next week.
Tune in, and after these messages,
we'll be right back.